thanks for joining us on MiWeek today. You're here at the policy conference. You're going to be on stage later. You're going to be talking about civility. That's the theme of the day. And you have a different take on civility. You think before we can get to civility, people have to start being civil on a lot of issues.
Respectful, balance, and we need to get away from the knee-jerk reaction. We take one small comment and we run with it. And we lose out on what the true meaning is. We don't try to seek to understand.
And you were hit with that this week when you suggested that you support arming some school teachers in schools. And right away, you were condemned, roundly condemned for that position.
Some condemned.
Yes.
And I put emphasis on some condemned. Okay. And without anyone trying to seek understanding, we talk about former military, former law enforcement who are now teachers, who can be another layer of security. But that's just one part of the issue. We're not just talking about arming teachers and when they come in with their lesson plans at the beginning of the day, we hand them a firearm. That's senseless, it's ridiculous. And when people react to those things without trying to understand, because I understand I'm battling with soundbite.
Right.
And I understand it. But it was thoughtful, it wasn't something that was reactionary. But that wasn't the only thing I talked about. The most important thing is how are we addressing the mentally ill?
Right.
How are we dealing with that issue? Because there's a nexus to all of these things. What are we doing about communication? Are we communicating? That this whole saying, see something, say something. We see the failures in Florida. And then once we say something, how's law enforcement responding? Are we responding timely?
And you also called out some of our political class for their selective outrage. You've lost a lot of officers, and around the country,
Absolutely.
We've lost a lot of police officers to gun violence. It's not something you're insensitive to.
I'm not insensitive, but let me just say this. I'm disappointed. Now, I will first of all acknowledge the governor of this great state, the attorney general, the mayor of the city of Detroit, certainly the city council president and city council members who, when we are faced with these tragedies, they've been up front in support. But then you get others that sit up in U.S. representatives, state reps, who have said absolutely nothing. But then when they see a statement that they perceive to be reckless, now all of a sudden it's an attack, and that is wrong. How about denouncing the violence directed towards police officers? We hear very little about that from those individuals, but they're ready to lay down and protest when they think an officer used force unnecessarily.
So, Chief, you've been very open in your support of people legally owning weapons of self-defense.
Since I've been here. So, I was on the cover of an NRA magazine in 2014. Predates the president's tenure and his candidacy.
But what do we do about illegal guns in this city? What's the answer to keeping guns out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them or who have them illegally?
That's the answer. Why, instead of talking solely about gun control, can we talk about crime control? Keeping, as you point out, keeping guns out of the hands of criminals, keeping guns out of the hands of those suffering from mental illness. That's the real answer. The gun by itself is not a killing machine. It's who has possession. And so we really need to focus on that. We really need to drill down and find ways, better ways, especially when you talk about the mental illness. I think that's a big challenge for the country because we're not responding to the mentally ill. We're not addressing the mentally ill. And then when someone goes out and purchases a weapon, where are the flags at? We know the incident in Florida. That young man had in excess of, I'm told, either 40 or 80 contacts with the police. Would it have been easy for those contacts to be embedded in a database so when he went to purchase weapons, the flags come up? And that's what needs to happen.
So please, Chief, you're out here talking at a business conference with business people. Business people in this community have been instrumental in your crime fighting effort through the Green Light program.
Absolutely.
How is that program working, and what do you envision for it next?
Well, it's beyond my wildest expectations. I will tell you that, the businesses have lined up. They've become partners to not only law enforcement, but they've been good neighbors. I mean, we have a green light corridor in Greektown. We have strip malls that are signing up, all voluntary. We know we've seen a reduction in violence, both robberies, carjackings, because as I pointed out early in my tenure, that these were locations where crimes were happening.